Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Satyr in Nature. In today's video, we're going to be talking about my 2018 Pct Experience. But first, I just wanted to update you guys just a little bit about the timeline. So, I'm currently about 13 days out from starting the trail. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm mostly excited just to be out there again. I know how good it's going to feel to be out there on the trail and just enjoying nature and not having to worry about anything, and just really getting my creativity going with my music and my blog. So I'm very excited for that. Also, I'm very excited for how I'm going to start my adventure because I'm going on a little side trip to Las Vegas for 2 days just before the trails to see some friends. So that'll be really fun, and I haven't seen them in a long time, so I'm very excited to see them. So in this video, I wanted to talk about my 2018 Pct Experience and get into a little bit about why I originally wanted to hike the trail. So I first heard about it in 2015 through a documentary I watched on YouTube. It was really inspiring, and they did a fantastic job of capturing the trail life and just making you want to go out there and do the same thing. One quote that stood out to me from the documentary was when they were going through the Sierra and they were sort of questioning themselves as to why they were doing this, and other people were asking why they were doing it. And they said that they were hiking the PCT because it offers them a chance to experience a moment that most people won't get to experience. And that really stuck out to me, and I wanted to have that experience, a unique experience, and really do something that pushed myself past the limits of what my mind thought that it could do. And besides the inspiration from the documentary, I also wanted to do the PCT just to have a goal, like coming out of the Air Force. I wasn't in a good place mentally, and I needed something to work towards, something that I could look forward to. And also, I was really overweight. I was about 50 pounds overweight coming out of the Air Force, which I know sounds counterintuitive, but that's the way it was. And so that was my goal even before I started the PCT, was to lose those 50 pounds and go into the PCT in shape. And I accomplished that goal pretty easily, actually. In about 4 months I lost 50 pounds. And of course, the PCT is worth hiking just to see the nature and just to see all the beautiful landmarks and just to go hiking. So yeah, all those things together combined really just made the PCT a special thing for me, and a special goal and a lifetime achievement. This should be for anybody who attempts this, because it's just an amazing experience, and one that you're never going to forget for the rest of your life. So I encourage everybody out there who wants to try, or who's on the fence, to just do it, to get out there and do it, even if you don't think that you're qualified or you have experience backpacking or whatever, because you really will thank yourself for pushing yourself and getting out of your comfort zone. Yeah, so going into the 2018 PCT attempt, I was feeling pretty good, but I also had to navigate some obstacles. I was originally going to go with my friend, but it didn't work out for him to go. So I was just dealing mentally with having to start solo, and I was a little bit nervous about it, but it all worked out in the end. I met some amazing people. So, and that's another reason why I'm going back this year, is because now my friend is available to go, and we're going to get to do at least part of the trail together. And that's going to be really cool because we've been talking about this for a long time. So I started hiking the PCT last year on March 22nd, and it was my first backpacking trip. I had been on a few overnight trips before, really just to test my gear. But I didn't really have any backcountry experience, and I didn't really know what was going on. I learned a lot last year. It was a big learning experience, and I met a ton of people out there who were willing to help you, just even kind of get your head on straight as far as just the daily basics that you got to do. It was a little bit of a humbling experience. I got dehydrated and a little bit of heat exhaustion on the first day. So, but it was a really good experience just getting out there and learning just a completely new system of living and how to be efficient on trail and just structure your days so that you can be successful and meet your goals. So I started out solo, but I didn't stay solo for very long because, I mean, you just meet so many great people, and pretty much from like the second day on, I was hiking with a group or with somebody. And yeah, I was in an awesome trail family, shout out guys, for a while, and that was really a great experience, being with those guys and gals, and yeah, just going through the desert together, and it lasted for a while, and then we got a little bit split up, and like we'd always catch up to each other after a little while. But I also met somebody very special on the trail. A wonderful gal from Germany. We started dating on the trail, and there's pros and cons to having like what they call trail romance. But like some of the pros are, like, I think it really enhances the experience of the PCT because you already get to be out in like some of the most beautiful nature in this country and even in the world. And you get to be with all the amazing people, but to do that with somebody that you really grown to care about, and to do that in a really special environment like the PCT is something I'm never going to forget, and I made so many precious memories. Some of the cons of having a trail romance, in my opinion, would be number one, like the PCT is such a special environment. Like, it's really easy to be happy out there. It's really easy to feel peaceful. It's really easy to love other people out there because you just feel so good, and that you're getting like the proper drugs into your brain. Being out in nature every day and exercising every day and interacting with people that are quality people. So like relationships happen easier out there, and they're not really set up to last. Like some of them do, and shout out to the ones that do make it. But yeah, like sometimes people just come into your lives for a season to help you in a certain area of your life, and then they gotta go and continue living their life and their journey. So that's one thing that I defined my PCT experience a little bit, was this relationship, and it did have an impact on like my experience of the trail. Like, I think I started making some decisions that were really just to keep me in the relationship and not really to keep me in the trail, on the trail. But like, you have to go through these things and learn how to really dictate your own experience and not really get so swept away into something, no matter how wonderful and amazing that thing is. So that brings me to like why I had to cut my PCT experience short. So I made it through 702 miles, which I'm really proud of. I'm really proud of the fact that I walked 702 miles in like 7.5 weeks. So I was on a good pace, and I felt really good prior to quitting. But there's a couple different angles to this, and the first side is the physical side to it. Like, I got sick at about mile 650, and yeah, I just couldn't hold down any food, and I'm pretty sure it was Giardia or something similar, because yeah, I was just not able to hold down any food. It was pretty painful, as most of you know. So when I was sick, I stopped for a couple days at a campground and just tried to recover, but I just wasn't feeling like I was getting better, and I tried to slowly reintroduce food, but it just wasn't happening. So my girlfriend slash hiking partner at the time was ready to leave, and I decided that I wasn't gonna feel any better, so I just might as well start hiking. Um, so we hiked 50 remaining miles to Kennedy Meadows, and yeah, doing that probably wasn't the best choice because it just really depleted me of a lot of energy, and I was feeling even weaker than when I left. When I got to Kennedy Meadows, and I still wasn't really able to hold down food, like maybe a little bit of Ritz crackers or something. So you can imagine just that throughout the entire day, like feel pretty drained at the end. And um, yeah, that was the physical side of it. But then it was like, not that even being sick was that bad, that I needed to leave, but it was more the fact that I was hiking and I was super hungry and my body was not cooperating with me, so I was getting really frustrated. It was a frustration, and also like something I've been dealing with for a long time, some severe PTSD from childhood trauma and also from the military a bit. And that really started acting up on me, and I've been on this journey of healing from the PTSD and healing, really from mental illness and, from the childhood trauma. So I, that was another layer added on to my Pct experience. As much as you think that, like, maybe you've gotten over something or that you're all the way healed, like sometimes life and your own mind and body have a way of surprising you and be like, no, we still need to do some work. So that was all really going on at the same time. And just, another thing was looking at my finances. I hadn't really stuck to a good budget, and like that's one thing on the PCT is, it's terrible. So when I was sick, I stopped for a couple days at a campground and just tried to recover, but I just wasn't feeling like I was getting better, and I tried to slowly reintroduce food, but it just wasn't happening. So my girlfriend slash hiking partner at the time was ready to leave, and I decided that I wasn't gonna feel any better, so I just might as well start hiking. So we hiked 50 remaining miles to Kennedy Meadows, and yeah, doing that probably wasn't the best choice because it just really depleted me of a lot of energy, and I was feeling even weaker than when I left. When I got to Kennedy Meadows, and I still wasn't really able to hold down food, like maybe a little bit of Ritz crackers or something. So you can imagine just that throughout the entire day, like feel pretty drained at the end. And yeah, that was the physical side of it. But then it was like, not that even being sick was that bad, that I needed to leave, but it was more the fact that I was hiking and I was super hungry and my body was not cooperating with me, so I was getting really frustrated. It was a frustration, and also like something I've been dealing with for a long time, some severe PTSD from childhood trauma and also from the military a bit. And that really started acting up on me, and I've been on this journey of healing from the PTSD and healing, really from mental illness and, from the childhood trauma. So I, that was another layer added on to my Pct experience. As much as you think that, like, maybe you've gotten over something or that you're all the way healed, like sometimes life and your own mind and body have a way of surprising you and be like, no, we still need to do some work. So that was all really going on at the same time. After Kennedy Meadows, I was really strongly feeling the need to do something proactive about my situation with my physical and my mental health, because it was getting to the point where I wasn't enjoying the trail anymore, and it was complicating my relationship with my girlfriend. And another aspect was my finances. Like going into the trail, I didn't really have a good idea of like actually how long the trail is, and like how many times you're going to come into. So I wasn't really pacing myself properly for the amount of money that I started the PCT with. And all the bills that I had at home still were taken away from that. And I had a couple of things happen with some gear where I needed to switch some things out. That cost money. So yeah, those three things combined with my mental state, just I wasn't making decisions to keep me on the trail, to keep me pursuing my goal. Like I made the choice to continue hiking when I should have stayed and just gotten better, because I was afraid of losing out on that relationship I had, and I lost out on it anyway. So yeah, with the pressure of my finances and with being sick for, it was like probably a week at that point, and with my relationship just kind of getting a little complicated, I decided to leave. I decided to go home and take care of myself and get some help, and really take responsibility for my own for the state of my life, and for my own emotions, and make some positive changes in my life that I know are going to reflect this year on the trail. But yeah, it was really painful decision for me, because I walked away from a relationship with a woman that I loved, and I walked away from the PCT, which I love, to go to get help, but it was really hard to do that and to leave and just say goodbye. But I'm really glad that I did it, and I would make the same choice again, because I have made so much progress with my mental health and with the healing journey that I'm on, and I've really practiced exercising my will in order to do the things that I need to do to feel better when I do get into those situations when I'm feeling triggered and not in the present moment, and to not let myself get into that like defeated mindset where I just feel frustrated and like, oh, why did this happen? So to stop that before it gets out of control, before I go down that slippery slope. So I've really learned a lot, and I'm ready to go out there and get after it, and to go get this one back, because it means a lot to me to do the PCT and to complete it. I need 2650 in one season, and it's gonna happen. So this is one of the reasons I'm vlogging this year, is because it's gonna really help me to stay grounded and to just process the day's events and go through it, and just really stay in the moment and enjoying the trail and just having fun. Also, one of my goals this year on the PCT is to be open with you guys really about my battle and journey with mental health, and to also bring awareness to just veterans' mental health, men's mental health, and just mental health in general, because I really do believe that mental health illness is just like a physical illness, except you just can't see it really. And I think that we need to start treating it like a physical injury, really, because it really does impact your life in every facet. And I've really experienced that this last year on the PCT as an example. So yeah, it's going to be one of the things that I talk about on this channel. So going forward, I'm just so excited to get back out on the trail, and to just get out there and get this one back for myself. to show people that you can overcome any challenge that your life throws at you if you apply yourself and have the discipline and the courage to get out there and get after it. So thank you guys for listening to me talking about my 2018 experience, and for letting me share with you guys a little bit about my life and the challenges and sharing the victories with you guys this year. It's going to be amazing. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. It's meant so much to me, all the support that I've gotten, and I can't wait to share this experience with you guys. Coming up, we're going to have a gear video, everybody's favorite video, so stay tuned for that. That's all for this video, guys. We'll see you next time.